briefly explain me the current legal position of enforcement in UAE arbitral awards in India under arbitration law?
Right. So to explain that, let me first give you a background of what is the current landscape between the two countries. What is the relationship? We are currently having a trade relationship of around $100 billion on an annual basis, almost touching that. We have signed a bilateral investment treaty last year. UAE and India trade is at its all-time high. However, the two areas where the enforcement happens, that is enforcement of a foreign judgment and that is an enforcement of an arbitral award, they both have seen a stark difference between the relationship in the two countries. Insofar as the enforcement of foreign judgment is concerned, India and UAE share reciprocity. What do you mean by reciprocity? That if you have a UAE court decision, you can straight away enforce it in India as if it's an Indian court decision. However, in case of an arbitral award, despite the fact that UAE and India both are New York Convention signatories, we don't share a reciprocity there. So you get a UAE arbitral award, which is done by ICC, by DIAC, by SIAC, any other big institution. It will not be recognized within the four corners of the Indian arbitration law, and the enforcement will not happen. You will then have to get the arbitral award first executed in India, and thereafter, once it becomes an executing judgment in India, that's when you enforce it. That adds to the rigmarole of getting it, and it really defeats the very purpose of which you have an alternate dispute resolution mechanism like arbitration. So that's where we stand on the current legal position.
Right. Thank you so much, Divyam, for explaining this. How does the absence of UAE as reciprocating territory under Section 44 of Arbitration Act affect cross-border enforcement?
So, as I said, the trade is really at its all-time high. Again, the relationship between the two countries have been at its very best. And imagine that almost 40 to 45% of UAE's population is Indians. With that kind of a diaspora here, and the fact, and let me give you one more statistics, that last year, Indians were the biggest migrants of ultra high net worth and high net worth individuals. More than Russia, more than Ukraine, more than Israel. With that kind of a diaspora, with that kind of a relationship in place, if you don't allow businesses to conduct their arbitration through the mechanism where there is assurance that there's going to be reciprocity, that very much defeats the whole purpose of having the arbitral mechanism there. UAE court decisions, sometimes since UAE, the mainland courts are on the civil law side, they may have their own complexities. We are a common law country in India. So again, that creates that kind of a distinction. We require the arbitral proceedings, we require the UAE setup and the India setup to be such that whatever award you get in UAE and vice versa, whatever award you get in India, are easily enforceable in reciprocal jurisdiction. To that effect, I have also written an article wherein I have tried to capture the fact, and you'd be surprised to know that during the bilateral treaty discussions between India and UAE, this was one of the main topics of discussion. Again, I personally feel it's an oversight. It cannot be by design, because when you already have a UAE enforcement of a court decision, it belies logic why you will not have the same thing for arbitral awards, which is really the dominating factor in cross-border disputes.
Divyam, you are everywhere in terms of arbitration. You are doing such a great work. So, how was your experience with Dubai Arbitration Week, and where do you see India and Dubai going forward in terms of arbitration?
It's my third time in Dubai during the Dubai Arbitration Week, and every time it amazes me how they manage it, the way it has been organized. It's the efficiency of the entire system. I must commend the Dubai International Arbitration Center, Robert Stephen, how they have presented it, the organizing committee for the Dubai Arbitration Week. It's just a phenomenal event. I have attended events across the world, but the seamless nature of this week and how the inviting all the panel discussions have been, and how topical the issues are, it really makes a difference, and I think it's one of the most sought after arbitration weeks across the globe.
Right, I think the experience was amazing.
Yeah.
This is my first time and the experience was amazing. Divyam, what message you would like to give to the young practitioners who want to come to the international arbitration and wants to explore Dubai?
I think it's very important first to gain the domain knowledge, understand and appreciate the nuances of arbitration, and definitely, and this I'm speaking from my experience. Always target a particular market. Don't be all over the place. Don't be in this anxiety that you have to conquer the entire world. Start with a particular city. Focus on that city. Learn what are the natural traits of that city is. What are the cultural sensitivity involved. Those issues, ethics, integrities, all these issues. And I was speaking on ICC panel a few days back on exactly the same subject. You need to appreciate that cultural sensitivity, and thereafter you need to equip yourself with the educational background in this jurisdiction. When it comes to the Dubai International Financial Center, which is a free zone, the law that is prevalent is very similar or mirror to the English law. And therefore, if you are equipped with an English solicitor position, you will be able to get a foothold in the Dubai International Financial Courts as well as the Dubai International Arbitration Center.
Right. Thank you so much, Divyam. It was
Thank you.
lovely.
Thank you so much.